This is the Samsung Galaxy A14, a budget-friendly smartphone that doesn't compromise on style or functionality, giving you the same design as the Samsung Galaxy S23. But what if I told you that there are some things about the smartphone that even Samsung doesn't want you to know about? Let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so without taking much of your time, yo guys, let's get started. There are two versions of the Samsung Galaxy A14 out there, the 5G variant and the 4G variant, which we have here, that is being powered by the Exynos 850 processor. I got this unit here for $150, which is roughly 117,000 naira, so have that at the back of your minds. So let's talk about what's great about the smartphone. For starters, the design is sleek and modern with a boxy shape and rounded corners, and that makes it comfortable to hold this device. Now, if you're someone who loves having options, the Samsung Galaxy A14 won't disappoint. It comes with a dual SIM tray with a dedicated memory expansion slot and the all-important headphone jack. I mean, what more could you have asked for? A built-in popcorn machine? Sorry, not yet. But what about performance? Well, the Samsung Galaxy A14 runs on the Exynos 850 processor, and the OS here comes on One UI 5.1 on top of Android 13. You also get 4 gigs of RAM, 64 or 128 gigs of internal storage. Mine here is 64, and here is the Geekbench score for the A14. And while you won't get all the bells and whistles you get from, say, the flagship devices like the S23 Ultra, for instance, there's no screen recording on this device, you still get access to most of the features you get from flagship devices. Battery life is also solid on this device. You get a 5000 mAh battery that can power this device, the A14, for a full day of use. Well, this smartphone sounds great on paper, but surely there must be a catch here, and you are right. There's one aspect of the Samsung Galaxy A14 that might make you reconsider the purchase of this device. But before we get into that, let's talk about the cameras on the smartphone. Let's be honest, the real reason you're here is to talk about the cameras on this device. And I have to say that for a budget smartphone, the Samsung Galaxy A14's camera is like a magic wand that turns even the most mundane moments into Instagram-worthy posts. With a 50 megapixel main camera, a 5 megapixel ultra-wide, a macro lens, and a 30 megapixel selfie camera, you'll be able to capture all your embarrassing moments in high definition. Just make sure you don't accidentally upload them to social media. When compared to other smartphones around this price range, the Samsung Galaxy A14 is actually one of the best in terms of the cameras. It gives you this good color reproduction and impressive performance for the cameras you get on here. By the way, don't let my Samsung Galaxy A14 stay lonely. Just hit that subscribe button as it helps us a bunch. When we talk about the bad, no smartphone is totally perfect, and the Samsung Galaxy A14 does have its downside. For instance, it doesn't come out of the box with a charger, and this can be frustrating for those who don't already have a Type-C charger. You get a Type-C to C cable from out of the box for this device, and you need to get an extra charger which you have to pay for if you're getting the Samsung Galaxy A14. The lack of accessories isn't something you need to make consumers worry about when it comes to this price range of budget smartphones. No headphones, no charger, no TPU case, and you do not get any great screen protection for this device. Now you might be thinking, that's it, right? No more surprises. Oh, how wrong you are. There are two things about the smartphones you need to know before you make your final decision, and they could completely change your mind about this device. First thing isn't that huge of a deal for this device, especially considering people who want to get an affordable smartphone. The display here, while decent at 6.6 inches, has a chunky bezel and a dewdrop notch that may not be to everyone's taste. Also, it's LCD capped at 60 Hz. I mean, I don't find this appealing. You would notice the dynamic range isn't quite as good as what you get from the photo quality on this device. In fact, the Samsung Galaxy A14 is like your dad attempting TikTok dances. It might not be terrible, but it's definitely not winning any awards either. Now that I think of it, it's definitely going to be terrible. Ask Caillou for life. So, is the Samsung Galaxy A14 worth your hard-earned cash? If you're on a budget looking for a smartphone that won't let you down, the Samsung Galaxy A14 is definitely worth considering. It may not be a huge leap from the A13, and I don't recommend getting this if you already own that one, but it offers enough upgrades and refinements to make it a worthwhile investment. But if you are in a situation where you need to pick between these two devices, this should be your obvious pick. And moreover, that saves you 10 bucks. Hey, that's enough for a cup of coffee or a Type-C charger for this device. Here's me comparing this smartphone to the Tecno Spark 10. That day.